What books are by my bed is a question I often get asked, and I'm glad to tell you because I just started a new project in how I'm reading at night. And part of it sparked because I have this new bookshelf, which is piled on this bookshelf, which is piled on this bookshelf. I enjoy biblioengineering. And so what I was doing was reading a couple pages from the Mahabharata, and I've gotten through 2 volumes of that already, and it is amazing. But now I want to switch to reading more of the great works of world religion and spirituality. And so what I did is I put a bunch of them here that I've been slowly working through. I've started, but haven't been going through fast enough. And now each night I will read a few pages from each of them, and then I'll move it to the next line in the pile. So I assume you probably want to know which books I have in here. So the one I read every night is this is the Dhammapada, which is the holiest book in the Theravada branch of Buddhism. And it's just a thin little thing, and it's wonderful. It's so good about watching your mind, and you can see why it's so important. There's so much Buddhist literature. It's nice to have just one slim classic, and for every night to be reminded, here's how you can be doing better with that monkey mind of yours. And then after I read one page of that, I will read a few pages of the next book in line. So right now, currently, the next book is Maya Deren's The Divine Horsemen, The Living Gods of Haiti. And this is a work of poetry almost to the voodoo religion of Haiti. And the foreword's by Joseph Campbell. She was really embedded there. She was a dancer, and she really got what was happening. So this is a classic about this oral religion, and I think it's a great way to learn more about it. Another work of, I think, world thought. This is my copy of Leaves of Grass by Whitman, and I've been reading this for my entire life. I've been reading this since I was 20 years old, and I still haven't quite finished it, but I'm most of the way done. But I think things like this are also just, pinnacles of human thought and creativity. The next one is the Hymns of Orpheus. So these were the hymns around the Eleusinian mysteries and the whatever psychoactive the Greeks were doing, all the Greeks. And I actually like this version. It's by Thomas Taylor, and he was around the end of the 1700s. And so this very loving translation of those hymns were very influential for the last couple centuries. And so I wanted to get through those because I know they are important. Next is the Quran, and this is a great translation by Droge, and it's very well annotated, so it's great for someone like me who's trying to both read the words but also understand them in their context. And, the Quran is just so incredible because, as Houston Smith here says, this is the only book that purports to be God directly talking to you. Muhammad said, this isn't me. This is God talking through me. Everything else, it's like descriptions of God or of the stories of the gods. This is God talking directly to you. It's powerful stuff. This one's Falling Over. This is actually different. I also try to read one play at all times. And this is Strindberg's To Damascus, which I think Borges told me to read. I wish I could remember who told me to read this. But this was him at the end of a psychic break, a really severe mental health breakdown. And then he wrote this 3-play series. That's very intense, but very powerful. Then I have this collection of the earliest Christian prayers put together by Church and Mulry, which is very good stuff to know. Then this one came from Uncle Buck's library in the basement. This is Tibetan Yoga and the Secret Doctrines by put together by Evan Wentz. So this came out in the 30s, and it was one of the first times that a Buddhist master said, yes, release these secret doctrines. They need to be out there in the world. And the part that I'm reading is just a whole bunch of series of lists, like the 10 places you go, you err, the 10 ways you can be better. It's just it's almost listicles of Buddhist thought. It's like, this is how you can do better. It's really great stuff to be getting into my head. Here's one I might remove, even though it's interesting. It's the Aquarian Gospel, and this was of Jesus Christ, and this was a channeled book by this guy Levi about a century ago, and it's purported to be the rest of the story of Jesus, and it was a big, influence on the hippies, as you can imagine, and all of that, and it's quite good. It really feels like it would be the continuation of the rest of the gospel, but also there might be other holy books that I could be reading instead of this one. And then finally, the last book that fell, and the one that I'm actually most obsessed with, and I often take the most like time to read each night, is the Nag Hammadi scriptures. So this is the Gnostic texts that were found. This version, edited by Marvin Meyer, is excellent. It's a whole bunch of the scholars. You can tell it's a happy little community working away on this ancient stuff, trying to figure it out. And you get really great intros. And the analysis around, basically all the Nag Hammadi scriptures. So this has been a really great book to get through as well. And then some of the other books that I'm reading, but that's not in the world spirituality one. So that's the system I'm using to try to get through a whole bunch of pillars of human thought. So let me know what you think. And if you have any other pillars of human thought that you think I should be adding here, let me know. And yes, I'm looking for the gathas of the Parsis, but it's been very hard and expensive to find.